Right.
Oh,
Who
right.
can... Tom? Okay,
Wow.
who can tell me what happened last session, then?
Sam died.
Sam sat quietly for 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Everybody else died
Sam
too.
very patient. Yeah, I mean, everybody apart from Andy died, and Andy
Yeah.
only survived through barbarian bullshit. Yes.
That's because the rest of you survived for too long through other bullshit.
That was a lot of bullshit.
There was a lot of bullshit going
I
on,
was
yes.
distinctly disappointed afterwards when I realised that if I'd made a swap back to my paladin beforehand, I probably would have been way more successful in that.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, don't worry, because, like, that was quite enjoyable, and I think there are ways I could do that fight better. So, I may do that
This
again.
session is round 2.
Yeah, round 2. Everybody, top yourself up again. No,
I am
'cause
not
Tom
hanging
wants
about
to
until
slack
1
off.
a.m. again.
It wasn't that late.
It was midnight.
It was
nearly
a
1
bit
a.m.
past midnight. Yeah,
It was midnight when I left.
Oh,
I
dear.
leveled up.
Anyway,
It was definitely 1 a.m.
yes. So you guys entered into Undermountain.
Yep.
Presented yourself as gladiators and were
Yep.
very quickly shepherded into an arena to show off who you were, with the boisterous host hopeful that if you were good enough, you might be you might be useful for future performances.
Do you know what I learned from that fight?
Mm-hmm.
Real gladiators are fucking pathetic. Because they were barely there. They were just a smear on the ground, essentially. Right.
Yes.
I'd forgotten there was anything else in the arena with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
well,
had the first
killed
round of fighting
first
stuff,
thing.
and you just murdered the fuck out of
Yeah.
them.
Wasn't it the first attack was Richard killing something in one go?
Yeah, because I think you got a crit or something. You did a silly buggers amount of damage in one round, and just
you do 2
completely
crits
murderated it.
in one round?
I can't remember exactly how it was, but it was in that kind of scope of damage. It was a lot. In fact, I can tell you did 46 damage in one round, just based off the health of the enemy. So
Yeah,
I wrote it down in the chat, didn't I?
maybe.
oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we totted it up because it was that remarkable. I wrote it in the chat.
Yeah, there were too many rolls.
There were a lot of rolls.
Can't see back that far anymore.
Either way, so you had the battle royale. Everybody fought. People died valiantly. People died pathetically. Various different deaths.
People hid like a little bitch.
Okay, Rogue Boy. Let's be careful what we say.
Glass houses.
Glass houses. Yep, glass houses. All right. And in the end of it all, Nugget was left standing as the last one alive, and as the kind of blood pulsing in your ears starts to subside, Nugget, you hear chanting from kind of above you of "Frog man, frog man, frog man," as you suddenly realise, stood there covered in the blood of your friends, your enemies, passers-by, whoever it is. You realise you are kind of slightly dazed as you kind of come back to reality. There are
Oh, there goes gravity.
exactly what looks to be thousands of people of all races kind of high up in the rafters above you, chanting Frogman because they don't know who you are. And kind of cheering your name. As for the rest of you, very quickly, some of the dwarven fellows with those staves with the rings on, they come kind of hurtling out of various corridors and going up to each of the bloody stains that used to be a body. And they kind of produce these rods from their coats, and as they kind of poke the body, there's this brief flash, and suddenly you're all resurrected as they kind of go through and get everybody back up again, everybody back alive. The kind of the gladiators that were in there, the two kind of baboon people and the bear man, they kind of give you kind of begrudging nods of like, yeah, okay, that was very good, handshakes all round as you're all kind of shepherded back out to the which fucking room is it? Yes, as you're shepherded back out into the side room that you were in previously. As you kind of, obviously you've all been resurrected, but you're still kind of just like, mending your wounds a little bit, making sure you're okay. Just, Indeed, you notice as well that as Call is resurrected, he is resurrected without his extra arms and without that substantial amount of drool that you've become accustomed to seeing just kind of free flowing out of his mouth. He appears to have reverted back to the previous Call that you knew before he so recklessly quaffed that potion.
Did somebody call the stunk?
No.
And it does appear that he is able to say a few more words than just stunk, but
Honestly, can't tell the difference.
Indeed.
Can we make another one of those potions?
He still just says his name an awful lot.
Yeah, it's just a slightly longer sentence now, I suppose.
The stunk will make an example of you.
So as you're kind of resting and recovering, there's an attendant who's handing out hot towels.
Oh,
You're all having some nice glasses of water, and you see the dwarf in the brightly coloured tunic come scurrying down some steps, so excited he almost trips and falls over. As he kind of gets up to you and he goes, "Oh, lads, that was fantastic! Oh, you're in for the birthday celebration. I've got this whole thing planned, this great idea I'm gonna do. You're gonna love it. How do you feel about playing the heel, playing the bad guys? Huh?"
no.
I think we could make that work potentially.
Oh, excellent. I've got an idea. There's a few of you. You've got a frogman. Sorry, I never caught your name. Why don't we dress you fellows up as the most wanted men in the whole land right now? As Salad Cream Jones's posse.
Do we think we could pull that off?
We'll have to find a basilisk or something to be, the dread demon Salad Cream himself. But I think we could do it, lads. Oh, I've got so many ideas. My brain's abuzz. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, as he kind of reaches around into his pocket, pulls out a small bag and kind of tosses it to Eugene and goes, "For your services. What was your name again?"
Paul.
Paul. Excellent.
Paul Bearer.
Great work, Paul. Smashing! As he goes happily scurrying back up the steps again and out of the room. Inside of the bag that he's tossed at you is 300 gold pieces.
Lovely.
So just make a note on that. You can split it as you want, or you can just keep it. Either
Look
way.
around, and most of the party doesn't really seem that interested in money.
Have we just become the D&D equivalent of a wrestling alliance?
100%,
Yes.
yeah.
Coupled with that scene in one of the Ocean's films where Julia Roberts is playing a character pretending to be Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Ocean's 12.
That's it. Yeah.
That's right up on the line that you need to ride, isn't it? Little bit of wrestling, little bit of Julia Roberts. That's the sweet spot.
That's that sweet spot I live in.
Exactly. That is how Ed lives his life.
Bottom half Stone Cold Steve Austin, top half Julia Roberts.
Court is also eyeing up that
perfect
bag
person.
of coins, by the way. Gene, just to put it out there.
Fine. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I mean, does any? I mean, just out of character. Does anyone else want any gold?
Ragnar doesn't have pockets.
Yeah.
Cole is becoming disillusioned with his what is it now? It's a scythe. But so he's interested in a new weapon, which could involve gold if you need to buy it, but he's not strictly speaking interested in the gold of itself.
I'll hold on to it for you in case you need any. And I'll just split it in half with Court, I guess.
Cole's gonna shake Gene's hand on that and squeeze his hand just a little bit harder than he'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to say
Okay.
I am the healer of the group, mostly because I think I'm the only one who's ever bought healing potions.
As you shake his hand and give it a good squeeze, the bones move in ways that is quite unpleasing.
I beg to differ, healer of the group. I'm a fucking
Heal.
paladin.
I have healing word.
I also have healing word.
I
they're
heal
not
not
getting
so much
any of you.
healing.
I do quite enjoy how it's like, no, I'm a healer. No, I'm a healer, and all of you are like, haven't used it though.
No, I've never used it. No.
I
I've never been healed.
I have actively healed members of the party before with
Okay,
lay on hands.
Cool is the healer of the group. But Court believes himself to be a cleric. No, I'm kidding. I've done that character.
Oh dear.
Can we buy Call a Belisha Beacon to wear on his head? So he
What?
can be dubbed the healer of the group.
What do
I
you-
don't understand.
No one got
like
that.
like a flashing beacon.
Oh,
Like a flashing red
right.
beacon.
Beacon.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
Like
Yes.
an ambulance.
Yes.
It can be an
Wear it on his
ambulance.
head.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Ignoring that, as you're just kind of finishing recovering up, and what looks to be a courier comes up and handily passes a letter off to you, Gene.
Mhm.
As you kind of unfold it, you see it's a note that says, "Come to Best Tavern in Undermountain, love," and then the name has been very hurriedly scratched out. But you think you might be
Does
able to
look
see who the name was, if you can make me an insight roll.
Okay.
Sure, I think I have a feeling. Insight.
Oh, yes.
Mine's on
With
as well.
that, you can quite clearly make out that the name was Krim, and it's been struck through multiple times.
You could tell just by the voice you used when you read the letter.
If Krim was really smart, he would have written not Krim.
Well, that's somebody else, so you know.
Yeah.
So as you once you've kind of rested up, you can try and find your way to the best tavern in Undermountain. Now, do any of you want to? Do any of you know what the best tavern in Undermountain is?
No.
Whatever
No.
tavern it has us in.
Given the presence of the arena, I'm not entirely sure that Cole wouldn't have been here before.
Do you want to roll? Actually, now that you have your brain back again, do you want to roll me history with advantage?
Don't I have a? Can I? Is this applicable?
Oh, what's this?
It's kind of relevant, ish.
Oh yes.
I will claim I grew up within 100 miles of it.
There's a chance that you can. Okay. So that's providing information or temporary shelter. So do you want to roll me a history check to see if you remember anything? And if you fail, I'll let you roll a d20 with a you get over a 10, and you'll be able to find somebody.
Sounds good.
Go for it then.
Probably gonna need it because my history is fucking atrocious. Oh, fair play.
Oh no. So you think back to your day, you're just climbing out of this cloud of weird memories where you just remember licking rocks repeatedly and hitting things you think. And for some reason you were always scratching your ass, but you can't work out how. Kind of swimming through that mire in your brain, you have a vague memory of the last time that you were here many, many years ago. And the tavern that everybody goes to is called the Grim Guzzler.
I mean, nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. Which you know where it is. You can vaguely track the path to.
In Indiana Jones Marcus Brody fashion, I shall fashion myself a headband and tie it around my head and say, "I know the way."
Okay, certainly. So, right. As you go kind of passing through I'll be honest with you, I could pull out the map and I could load you through a ton of zones to get you there. But they're all numbered and it's really confusing and very difficult for me, so I'm not going to do that.
No real benefit.
There's very little benefit apart from the fact that I've made all these maps. But after a decent bit of journeying, traveling around through various paths, you make your way into the Grim Guzzler. And I'm just gonna. I'm gonna move you into the map. There's just a lot of dwarves in here. Everybody's drinking. There's copious amounts of it. You can see various kind of waitresses staggering around, and there is what looks to be one of the largest orcs you've ever seen, who is silently and seems to be persistently cleaning the same tankard as he kind of glowers about the place, who looks to be the proprietor. Have you loaded onto the map correctly? I'm just...
We have,
sorry.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Thank you. And I will put on the tavern music. Oh. So, as you kind of go searching around at the moment, all you can kind of see is this sea of dwarves. Do any of you want to make me a perception check to see if you can spot Krim anywhere?
Yes.
I don't see nothing.
Ragnar is too low to the ground, I suppose. Jean, you have kind of a look about, but again, it just looks to be mostly dwarves at this point. Same for Court, unfortunately.
That would have been a 12. If
Yeah,
I
same for Court,
Yep, cool.
unfortunately. Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, there we are. Okay, excellent. So, Cole, you, with your height and the fact that you've been here before, you kind of know where things are a bit. There's drunk dwarves everywhere. You kind of have a glance about, and you spot to your left the kind of room with the kegs. You kind of spot what looks to be a scratched note in the wall. It looks like somebody's pointed an arrow into that side room. And it's just in such a way it's fresh enough you think that's probably it. That's going to be the place to go.
Cool. I
so-
lead the party that way.
Yeah, okay, certainly. I'll tell you what, I'll move the whole party over unless anybody else wants to go and explore the tavern.
I would like to buy a drink before, but that's all.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Are you going to approach one of the barmaids,
I'm just going to go up to
proprietor?
whoever's most likely to buy me, to let me buy a drink.
Okay, you approach one of the barmaids. This gnomish lady who's carrying many flagons that are significantly larger than her. You kind of, as you approach her, she's just like, "Yeah, 1 silver. You got it?
I do. I hand over 1 silver.
All right, here you go." Hands you a tankard and just scurries off to go and pass drinks out to other people.
Good enough.
Oh, have I put the wrong token down? Sorry, Sam.
No, I've just abandoned my Western getup.
Okay, we're not done with that yet, but all right then. So yes, Court, you have now got one rather massive tankard. It has this very strong aroma. Are you gonna just drink it, or?
I'm gonna have a little sip. Nothing too outrageous.
Okay.
And
As you take a sip, can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
I can make a Constitution saving throw. 19.
Okay. This is essentially just poison.
Ooh.
That clearly this is what dwarves drink. But with your hardy enough constitution, you're able to kind of you can stomach a bit of it. You know to okay, bit too big a mouthful, spit a bit of that out. Okay, it's okay, I'm okay. But this is essentially just liquid poison.
I will just peer into the glass and then just, without saying a word, just hand it to Ragnar.
All right then, Ragnar, you've been handed a tankard. Feel free.
Gonna down it.
Okay. Well, you're immune to poison, so excellent.
I'm not,
you're
I've
fine.
just got advantage on saving throws.
Oh, okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Sorry, yes, it's Andy who's immune, isn't it? Okay, yeah, you're okay, Ragnar. You're okay. Actually, Ragnar, can you make me an insight check, please?
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. Sorry, I should have said you did have advantage on that, but I didn't say
Okay.
it. But you did, so it's a 17, which is good. This. As you kind of finish the tankard, you just feel this strange feeling in the back of your head of overwhelming anger. Now, you're a barbarian. You're very familiar with anger. It's an emotion that you have a lot of experience with. But this feels like something else's anger. Just a touch of it, just at the back of your brain. Just a little bit of extra anger.
Mm.
Maybe you shouldn't have too many of these drinks, you think. Now, as you enter into this kind of side room, as you're kind of scurrying, getting yourself, just trying to look like you're just moseying about or anything like that. Out of the gaps between two of the large kegs comes scurrying Notcrim, who excitedly runs over to you and starts gesturing with various hand motions. You're not entirely certain what he's trying to say until he kind of looks at you expectantly, as if you should have understood exactly what he's just gestured at.
What is it, Lassie? Is he trying to lead us somewhere?
Then, in your own voice, you hear "lead us somewhere." Come back out of the Kenku's mouth, and he gestures at you again.
I guess I go to follow Notcrim.
All right. He kind of leads you back over to the kegs.
I give him some breadcrumbs.
he will eat the breadcrumbs out of your hand. It would be adorable if he wasn't such a large creature. As he kind of leads you back to the kegs, he starts kind of pointing at them repeatedly, and then he seems to make almost like a hitting motion against the keg, and then points at you again.
Cool, well hit the keg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smart
Sure.
man. Well, he is smarter, isn't he?
Yeah, do you want to make a weapon attack for me then, please?
Ooh, I can.
Okay. As you kind of swing about the scythe and it goes cracking in, the scythe goes the blade goes a decent way in to the keg, and as you kind of pull back, ready to do a second one, you hear a kind of very confused voice echoing out from inside the keg, going, "Oh my, okay, yes, oh right, okay, I'm coming out. And the keg itself kind of cracks open a little bit, and in front of you is what appears to be a beholder holding several tankards of beer.
He's got a cowboy hat on.
He has a little hat on,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, I see. Notcrim found some friends now. Can you talk, or are you here?
Well, we can talk.
Kenku.
Recently, we've become significantly better at talking as a party with some recent changes.
With one of you gaining the ability to talk.
Yeah.
I can always talk. My vocabulary is just very limited.
It's just extremely limited. Although somehow you were smarter than Ragnar.
Hello.
So the beholder, you can see kind of as he's talking, occasionally one of his tentacles just brings a tankard to his mouth, and he takes a drink. My name is Fitzpatrick. I'm a beer holder. I mean a beer holder. A beer holder.
I just got it. Fuck me.
I'm something of a contact for your league, and I've been waiting around here for somebody to make it down here for quite a while, and lo and behold, who turns up? But only a bloody member of the league who can't talk. Ugh, so boring. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. I understand from what I've been able to get out of him, as he gestures again at Notcrim, that you might be maybe here to kill the Emperor?
Is
that right?
That's a good idea.
There's some Emperor death to be sure to be had.
Good. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Well, that's kind of what I'm here for, you see. I've been here a while, as you can probably tell. He is quite clearly absolutely sourced.
Can I interject very briefly and just say I was so intrigued by this character. I googled it, found and I'm not going to get into the stats, but I found the Reddit thing about it, where someone's created this thing, and the description underneath the name of the name of the creature is large floating sack of shit. Its senses is beer goggles, passive perception of nearby alcohol 22, languages, butchered common, gibberish, bullshit, slurs.
Words.
Oh, what an amazing find! Well done, Dom.
Thank you. As Fitzpatrick kind of gently bobs and sways a bit as he looks at you, he goes, well, you see, because I've been here quite a while, I've formulated such a good plan. I know exactly how we're going to do it. It's brilliant. You're going to love it. There's only one little wrinkle that we probably need to address first. I suppose I don't know how do I put this. Do you know what is going on with Undermountain?
No, but does it
Not
involve
particularly, no.
super suspicious
They're a bit
nuns?
new.
Well, you see, Undermountain's a bit weird because it's the good league of good, but I don't know if you've noticed, but they're quite violent.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you've been to the arena. I hear it's good. But they have duels to the death. That's not really good League of Good stuff, you know? I mean, yeah, they resurrect people, I think, but like, that's a bit weird, right?
I'll confirm they resurrect people.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? It's
Um,
not very good League of Good, and I don't know what's causing it, but I'm a little bit scared. And there's all these vaults that nobody's allowed in. And I figure either it's full of some evil dark magic which we can get our hands on, or it's full of gold which we can get our hands on. I see it as win-win.
Do you have hats?
What?
Nothing.
He briefly looks at his tentacles and goes, "Yeah, never thought about it. I don't have hands." With that, he downs all of the pints that he is currently holding, and you just see behind him as the tentacles are just scooping up more beer out of the keg that he's burst out of.
I love this character so much.
I just think we owe it to ourselves to investigate a little bit. You know, maybe ask around, see what people know, don't cause a stir, maybe cause a little bit of a stir. Yeah. And see if we can't steal some shit. It sounds like a great idea.
The most reliable source we've seen so far in this city.
I am wonderful, I know. But the problem is, I haven't really left the tavern much.
The Stark thinks this is the only source we have met in the city.
I don't know, I haven't been following you. But look, how about this? Okay, look, I know the proprietor of this tavern, the big fellow, right? Now, he knows everything. Everything. Because you see, the people come in here, they get really drunk, and when you get drunk, you just start talking, and nobody can stop you, so people spill their secrets all the time. The problem is, I'm quite drunk as well, so I don't remember them. But he doesn't drink. Him and the waitresses, they know everything. If you can get one of them on our side, there's gold to be made, or blood, or magic, or what there's stuff to be made. What do you say, boys? Are you in?
Let's do it.
He extends a tentacle and a handshake.
The Stonk
What do
shakes
each
his
of us?
There's plenty. Various tentacles come out and shake various appendages he can get hold of. At one point, he just shakes Ragnir's head. So, with Fitzpatrick having kind of tipped you off to a potential source of information, essentially, what you're looking for now is some intel on what is held in the lower levels of Undermountain. Now, you kind of know it's generally, you know, the intel that you can gather, that it's a city, it's built, you've got things like the arenas, vaguely central, there's all the viewing stands for that, there's the usual stuff, residential, there's a market. You know that there are very powerful
see. Hello?
Hello? Yep.
Does Discord
That's
keep
out.
going
Yeah.
completely silent
Just-
for people?
It did for
Oh,
a
is
minute.
it?
Just for a second.
Just
Oh,
for a second, he
bollocks.
went, we've got very power.
Okay.
It's done that quite a few times tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nightmare. Okay. I haven't noticed, but I've been mostly talking, so you know. So there are very, very powerful forges here, where they manufacture most of the weapons and armor for the Good League of Good.
Mm.
And you know that there is the Emperor's Palace, but that is very strongly locked down and guarded. And then there is just simply the lower levels. Now, what
lower
is in those
levels.
lower levels, nobody is entirely certain. So I suppose what I'm looking for is anything that you might want to do about the city, any potential sources that you want to use. He's tipped you off that the barman here and the waitresses, they probably know quite a lot. But otherwise, generally, you've got to look for some other source of intel, because unfortunately Fitzpatrick mostly just drinks heavily.
Can Call attempt to charm a barmaid?
You want to try and charm our barmaid? Yeah, okay, yep.
Call's back, baby. He's a charismatic fucking gladiator. No longer a drooling moron.
Indeed. Which barmaid would you like to try and chat up?
Oh, they are
Uh,
different.
Yeah, if you include the big fellow, there are three.
That one looks terrifying and possessed.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna go with this one.
You're going to go with the demon girl.
Is that a demon? I can't tell.
It's a
Red?
tiefling. It's a tiefling.
Oh, I'll go with the tiefling. She probably feels out of place here too.
Okay, so she is currently, mopping up what looks to be a spilled drink, kind of on a table, and kind of collecting everything onto a plate as you kind of approach her. So what would you like to say? Hang on, just 1 second, Sam. Seduce me.
Sounds humane for this moment since uni.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
So yeah, what are you looking to do then?
I think
Mm-hmm.
Cole is gonna play the. Where's the good looking good settlement? He's gonna play the chivalrous card and just sort of help her put the stuff she's dealing with on there, right?
Okay.
And ask her if she gets to the arena much.
She kind of thanks you. Oh, thank you, as you're helping, And she kind of looks at you a little bit sheepishly, and then goes, "Oh, no, I don't typically get off work for that. It's a big drinking time, so we're quite busy when there's fights on. So not really for anything big. Why are you a gladiator?
Cool. Do I have any evidence of that on me that I can gesture to, other than just saying it?
You're covered in weapons.
Yeah, I'll just nod.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I
"Nah."
am.
Flex a bit. And
You flex a bit, okay. So you kind of give her a flex to kind of show off all your various weapons. She goes like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's yeah. We get a few of you guys come through here."
I fuck it. Have you heard of the stonk?
Okay, I'm not gonna make Sam seduce me the whole way. It's weird, but it's fun for the power play on my end. So what is your end goal here? You trying to
I was about to say I want to pump her for information, but that doesn't sound.
some people usually do it for pleasure, if I'm honest.
Yeah, to be honest,
Fuck
but
it, I'll commit. I would like to pump her for information.
Okay then. So can you roll me a perception check with advantage, because you've shown that you're a
check.
gladiator, which she's into. So
Okay. I have a very, very poor modifier on perception, but such is
Oh,
life.
sorry. Persuasion. I don't know why I said
Oh,
perception.
there we go. I was like, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
What am I trying to perceive?
I don't know.
if she's into you.
Okay. So an 18 in persuasion. Like as you kind of chat with her and ask her if she's heard of the stonk. She kind of she's a little bit nervous and sheepish, but she does admit, yeah, okay, yeah, I think I might have heard of you, and you get the feeling this is kind of working. You've got a little bit of a charm here going on. She's kind of vibing you, and you notice that she kind of she as you're kind of chatting, she's kind of moving about, and you notice that she puts down her tray and is now just kind of focused on you and just chatting with you and kind of playing with her hair a little bit. So you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know the signs here.
Man's in.
Oh,
Call her Stocky.
oh dear. Tell you what, while this is going on, I'm just gonna pop back to the rest of the party.
I thought you were going to say top back to tell Elle that I feel dirty.
Dom,
No.
Dom's actually doing this session from the shower just so he can constantly feel clean.
Yeah. So as you kind of pop back, I'm just gonna pop back to the rest of the party. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. So yeah, thank you, Andy, for the reminder you're not at D&D next week.
I did it on WhatsApp, so I didn't have to interrupt you. But
No, it's fair enough. Sorry, it completely distracted me because I saw Andy, so I was like, "What?" So basically, while Call is attempting to seduce the barmaid, do any of you want to do anything, or are you just going to watch him?
I was going to ask, when we were resurrected, because I had used like everything I had, did we have the effects of like the rest?
Yes. Sorry, I thought I said that previously, but
I think
no,
you
clearly
did.
not.
So.
Sorry, that was
So yeah, you're fully recuperated and back. I mean, I'd say you're as good as new, but you know, Jean is. I mean,
relative term.
Yeah, it's a very relative term. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I think I would have resummoned Sheila after a while.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, you can resummon Sheila. Ragnar can start knitting an outfit for Call, I suppose.
I think with Sheila, what I would use her to kind of scope out the conversations that are happening in different parts of the tavern.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So just use
So
her
we'll
to
just have
sneak
her kind
about.
of crawl about the place. Do you want to roll stealth for Sheila then?
Yes.
And she'll have advantage because these guys are quite drunk.
Oh, good. Oh, wait, where's Sheila?
Oh.
Oh no, there she is. Wake up. Stealth.
Okay, a 19, excellent. So as Sheila kind of, moves from table to table, the first table, it seems like the dwarves are having an argument about the correct way to butcher a pig. The next one, there's a very very reasonable discussion going on about what the correct and best type of biscuit is. For some reason, I don't know who would have that kind of conversation. Another one, a table with two dwarves sat across it. They're very sadly retelling about his divorce. And you go to the next table, and it's a dwarf very excitedly talking about his new girlfriend, and you're starting to think those might be the same people. As Sheila's kind of prying about, as she gets to one of the tables, you overhear just a snippet of the conversation that makes you realise that one of those dwarves is actually a guard for the Emperor's palace, and he's here on his off duty, and he's complaining about how strict the scheduling is and how it's such a pain. You have to be at the right place at the exact right minute. You have to do the exact right salute and turn. Otherwise they realise that you're they'll think you're an imposter and they'll kick you out, and it's just exhausting. And he really struggles to keep it all to himself. So he confesses that he's written on his arm exactly the right salutes that he has to do.
I would use Sheila. Oh wait, no, shit. Sheila can't see anything.
I would like to cut off his arm.
Because I can perceive through Sheila's senses, but Sheila does not have eyes.
Sheila doesn't have eyes. Yes. Oh, dear.
So which one is that? Sorry.
So that is. I'm going to say it's this one down here, south.
Oh, sorry, I might have missed it.
I'm repeatedly pinging it.
Oh, I can't see any pings.
I can
Oh,
also
oh
see.
hang on. Sorry, I was on the GM layer.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There we are.
That's the one that looks slightly different.
Yeah, he's on that table. He looks slightly different from the others on that table.
Okay. I would just sort of like casually mention to the rest of the guys, like, I think that our fellow over there might be helpful.
Also, I recognise that art.
No, you don't. Shut up. Silence your whore mouth. You don't recognise any of this art. It's all new and original. I made it myself. So, right, as Sam is getting beer, I shan't cut back to his seduction attempts just yet. So, yes, you know that dwarf has got stuff written on his hand. There's other kind of various movement going around. But you do notice that a couple of them are starting to kind of flit their eyes over to you. Kind of a bit like, what's going on over there? Why are those guys stood in the keg room? What are they doing?
I muttered to the rest of the guys, like, I feel that we're very recognizable as a group. It might be advisable if we split up slightly.
Yeah.
I might
I'm
float.
gonna-
I might float over.
Yeah.
To that table.
I'm gonna
where
sit
that
down
guy.
with hopefully
there's-
Ragnar and have a drink.
Sit down with Ragnar. You're not certain it might just be another random dwarf.
Could be, yeah.
All right, as you kind of you intermingle yourself amongst the tavern a bit more, kind of spread yourselves out, and everything's it's looking generally it's all right. I think you're okay. There's less suspicion. Salad Cream will go for a nice little sleep in the keg room. Right, now Sam, are you back? No, he's not. That's very inconvenient. All right, Jean, as you get closer to the dwarf, you do see that he's quite drunk at this point. He's had quite a few, but he still clearly wants a few more. Unfortunately, he's got his sleeves kind of down, so he's obscuring that arm that he's gestured to as having the routines written on.
I come over having bought 3 tankards from the barkeep and sit down with them.
Oh, you're going to join their table?
Oh yeah.
All right. As you kind of sit down with 3 tankards, all the dwarves kind of eye you up and go, "Are you all right, mate? What can we do for you?"
Oh, I was hoping to get a bit of advice, really, and I pass out the tankards. I am traveling through, but I have a nephew who is moving to Undermountain quite soon. He is adopted, you understand. He is more like yourselves.
We
he's,
understand, lad.
The
A
dwarven
real
persuasion.
man. As they all stroke their beards.
Yes. It's lustrous. It's beautiful. I am very jealous.
Thank you. You should be.
I just since I know he's coming. And he's a young fellow. You understand. I'm trying to get some advice for him to how he can best settle in. What jobs might be good here, and what might be something respectable of responsibility and nobility that he could aspire to take on after he moves here.
Yeah.
And just ask them about what they do.
No. Yeah, it's a solid play. As you kind of get there, sit down, pass out the drinks, start talking. They all just start drinking the drinks immediately. They no longer really question you, and they start launching into, like, oh well, the smithery's always a very noble area to end up in. Like you'd be honoured if you end up as a smith. Of course, otherwise you've got the military. There's the Mages College if he's that way inclined, and of course there's always the option of trying to join the Royal Guard. That's probably the peak of kind of career progression here in Undermountain.
I mean, that would be his dream, I know, and that is, I won't lie, one of the main reasons he is coming to Undermountain, to have the slightest chance of possibly serving there. I know it'd be a ridiculous long shot, but you wouldn't happen to know anyone who has or is working in the Royal Guard that I could ask questions about?
So the gentleman with his kind of his sleeve that you're trying to get to, he kind of shifts a little uncomfortably and goes, "Oh well, of course, being a member of the Royal Guard is something you're not supposed to talk about to I think I hear." And you can see he's kind of tripping over himself as he tries to desperately explain that, like, oh, members of the Royal Guard, they don't talk about being part of the Royal Guard. Then we would never, they would never talk about it. It's highly secretive, and so I hear. And they just act like they're just a normal member of the military, like I am, a normal member of the military. That is, it's desperately. You don't even need to roll insight. He is drunk enough that his attempt to hide this is more obvious than if he'd have just told you.
Yeah, if I yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hadn't realized that silly faux pas of mine. I just put it down to me being not being a local. Here, I'll pay for another round, and go pay for another round.
Okay, yeah, you pay for another round. They kind of graciously take it. So Ragnar, are you going to look to arm wrestle him, or what's the play now? Do you want to try and get more out of him, or what are you thinking?
Ragnar's just going to openly challenge everyone in the bar to an arm wrestle.
Okay, certainly. So, Ragnar, presumably you just start. I don't know what you roll up your sleeve. Well, you don't wait. Roll up your cloak. Roll up your arm hair. Yeah. Roll up your. Start brandishing your arm about, challenging anybody you can to an arm wrestle. Almost immediately, this sparks interest from pretty much every dwarf in here. As a dwarf yourself and as a man of battle, that every dwarf loves an arm wrestle. Every dwarf loves challenging people to arm wrestles, having an arm wrestle, and quite quickly your table is kind of surrounded by other dwarves. As they all kind of crowd around, looking to kind of get a bit of a closer eye, and you are challenged to an arm wrestle by one dwarf in particular. And you sit down on either side of the table. Can you roll me a... Oh no, sorry, it'd be contested athletics, wouldn't it? Yeah, no, it would be. Yeah, sorry, we'll just cycle through all the checks here.
It cut out for me. You said, "Can you roll?"
And you said roll.
And then nothing, and then contested athletics.
That's such a pain that's happening. That's just Discord, right? That's not me, is it?
It's also really intense.
Yeah, really. Oh,
Yeah.
nightmare. Yeah, can you roll athletics, please? It'd be contested athletics. Oh.
That is bad.
Okay. Where is his character sheet? Hang on, sorry, I've got like 15 of the fuckers. There it is. Doop. Oh, okay, so the dwarf absolutely demolishes you.
Yep,
Can I roll silvery barbs from his check?
Can you silvery barbs stealthily? I feel like it would be...
Away.
It's got a verbal component, so you would be... Do you want to be openly casting the spell, or...?
Ideally stealthily, but I assume that's not possible.
Not with a verbal component for a spell like that.
All good.
Okay.
Then he's on his own.
Alright, unfortunately you've lost the arm wrestle, and the victorious dwarf is kind of cheering and shouting and swaggering about, and then seems to realise that they didn't bet anything on this. He's a bit like, "Tell you what, let's go again, lad, for a pint."
I would like to give him some bardic inspiration.
Okay, certainly. Do you want to go again, Ragnar?
Oh yes.
Okay, certainly. Roll me an athletics, and you have got bardic inspiration that you can choose to use if you want.
Which is whatever the default is.
Do you have to choose it first,
I
or
think
can
it's
you see the
D6.
roll?
You can see the roll, not know the result, but then you can choose to add it. So you roll it. and then choose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going to use it.
Okay, what is it? A D6?
D6, yeah.
Hmm.
Roll a D6, please.
Ooh,
Okay, with an 18, you are successful. Just. Not going to say you needed the 6, but you needed something close to a 6. As the with the second round of arm wrestling, he appears to falter just long enough, and you're able to slam his hand down. There's much cursing from his behalf, and he reluctantly hands you a pint.
I down
Which
the
you-
pint.
Promptly down immediately and continue. Presumably, are you just continuing to challenge random? Oh,
I'm really glad I have advantage on con
you have
saves.
advantage. You have advantage. You're fine. You hear again. You get that strange feeling of like anger. But it's only a little thing, and it's fine. You're angrier than that on your average Tuesday.
And then Ragnar just shouts, next.
Okay.
Another.
Another dwarf ends up approaching, and you're kind of in the in your second round. So you're ready for another one straight away.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me the athletics, please. Oh, okay, that's very good. Let's see if he can beat it. He can't. So the second dwarf comes up, and almost immediately you just crush him. You barely even flinch as you just lower your arm and close it down. As he kind of curses and hands you another pint, as appears to have become the custom, while you're in the process of downing it. And you're fine again. Just a little tickle at the back of your head. The dwarf in question comes wandering up, and you can hear he kind of gestures to everybody like, lads, let a real man show him how it's done. All right. As he steps up opposite you, and you see he rolls up his sleeve, and you can see his whole arm is covered in a very intricate tattoo of dwarven runes. That appears to be his notes that he mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Now, I was going to say, presumably somebody wants to note those down or have a closer look at those or something.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so do you speak Dwarven at all?
Good question. Do I speak Dwarven? No.
I do, but I don't trust any intelligent-based rolls that Ragnar's going to do.
So-
Do you speak Dwarven?
I do.
Well, does Jean at all?
Yeah,
No.
Jake? Okay, well, Ragnar, you can just roll perception with disadvantage to see if you can read it, because he's opposite you.
Ooh.
You're about to arm wrestle. Oh. Unfortunately, because of the angle, you can only just kind of make out like little bits of the runes. Like quite clearly, it says things like, turn 3 paces, walk towards the red, and then I can only get a little bit of it, unfortunately. But you do also notice that he is quite drunk at this point. As he steps up and offers his arm to you. Would you like to arm wrestle him?
Yes.
Roll me the athletics, please. First round goes to him. He slams your hand down and immediately cheers at himself.
I come over and
Hmm.
grab my new friend's arm and hold it up. Like, yeah, you did it! And hold it very still. like
Okay.
up there, and hold it very still for probably an uncomfortable amount of time until I'm sure Ragnar has probably seen it.
Okay, Ragnar, roll me perception with advantage then, thanks to Jean's assistance.
God fucking damn it!
So, you think you got most of it. Probably not quite all of it, but you think you got most of it. And after a while, he kind of, okay, I want to put my arm down now. All right, yeah, thanks, mate. And he kind of expectantly looks around for a tankard
I
to
pass
come
him
his
another.
way. You pass him a tankard, he downs it, cheers a bit. Kind of slaps you on the shoulder, Ragnar, and says, better luck next time, foreigner.
Ragnar
goes-
just goes, triple or nothing.
You can see there's this brief moment as he stops and just considers and just... Alright, lad. Ugh! He sits himself back down again, finishes off the dregs of his beer, and holds his hand out to you again, wiggling his fingers ready. Make me an athletics check if you want to try and look at his tattoo again. You can have another perception with disadvantage, I guess. Oh, well, it was bound to happen eventually. with a 15 in perception, you're able to get what you think is pretty much everything out of that tattoo. It's some very intricate instructions on kind of saluting certain people, certain turns to make, certain patrol routes. But you also notice that there's mention of what appears to be door handles in places that don't quite make sense. And I'll say you kind of realise that these are probably instructions for how to open secret doors.
Oh no, I just didn't know if you heard.
Indeed. All right, now roll me the athletics check, please.
Fuck.
He bests you. He does. I mean, yeah. Wow, that is. You're meant to be good at this.
Yeah, I'm really used to having advantage for all things strength related.
Yeah, I suppose, but you didn't rage, so which is, I'll be honest with you, as a wild magic were barbarian, that's probably a good idea. So he does beat you again, and excitedly kind of cheers, and presumably, Jean, you're passing him three flagons of ale at this point.
Yeah.
Ragnar
so he
apologetically.
So he very quickly downs flagon after flagon after flagon, and only after he's kind of downed all of them does it appear to become quite clear to him that he's had a bit too much to drink. And he just kind of staggers back to where his friends were. Oh, you're coming with us apparently, Jean, because I selected you as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm part of the crew.
Yeah, you're part of the crew now. He staggers back over to his friends, and you kind of get the feeling he's probably about to just have a little bit of a sleep.
Mm.
So cutting back to call, Sam, you back from? You're back from the beer, aren't you?
Yes.
That was a while ago. So while there's lots of cheering going on, you and the barmaid Guinevere have been kind of chatting up a storm. You think you're starting to get somewhere with her. So is there anything in particular you want to ask?
I'd like to discuss with her the fact that I'm going to tell her, and this is distinctly healing, like leaning on my not so honest hand.
Yes.
That I have been engaged by somebody in the
Congrats, with
in the Emperor's Guard to investigate any weak points in their security.
Ooh. Okay. Roll me a deception roll with advantage. Yes.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. It's a good lie. It's well told. But you can tell she has this kind of look in her eye that she maybe doesn't quite believe you, and that maybe she thinks this is a trick.
I'm going to do my utter best to persuade her that it isn't.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Go on, have a persuasion with advantage.
Yeah, boy!
Honestly, that deserves to work just from the joke.
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, you know what? Fair play. So, as she kind of looks at you very suspiciously, you kind of talk around. You talk about how it's very important. The Emperor always needs to be reviewing his security measures. And it's very important because you know that people come to taverns and they talk. And because she's here, she's going to hear things. So she'd be very, very useful. And it would be her, if anything, her civic duty to help you. And you see quite quickly, she is won over by you. She's already a little bit seduced by you. And at this point, she just kind of wants to impress you.
How could she not be? I've got teeth like tombstones.
I've always said that's your most attractive feature, Sam. You've got all your own teeth.
In fact, cows don't have any top teeth.
Mm.
Okay then, you have all your own teeth, but that's only half what you should have. Right. Okay. So what kind of information are you looking to get out of her? Sorry, you're just.
I'm interested specifically in weak points. So like
Okay.
anything she knows if she feels she should either that she shouldn't know, or
Yeah.
that either that relates to something that should be otherwise arranged, as it were.
Okay. So she will. Ragnar goes to his shame corner. Excellent. She will kind of glance around a bit, and she kind of sidles up next to you, and just kind of quietly, tells you that she's overheard that there are. So the whole of Undermountain is riddled with secret passageways, and a lot of them have been sealed off. But she hears that that a lot of the ones that go, essentially, that all the ones in the palace, there's a number of them that were sealed that have become unsealed because of earthquakes and kind of geological movements. They've kind of broken down previous barriers, and that now there's ways into the Undermountain through the palace, but that also means that there would be ways into the palace from Undermountain.
Beautiful.
She also tells you that she knows that some of the royal guard definitely drink in here. But I mean, you as Sam know that already. But you know.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. I would also like to ask her if she knows much about if she knows of any particularly good arcane weapon manufacturers in the city.
I mean, she's going to give you a brief look as if you've just asked her, like, do you know how to breathe? And she just kind of says,
I know they exist. I'm more interested in, like, who's the best.
Oh, right, who's the best? She kind of gives that a moment's thought and then goes, well, that's a loaded question, if anything. You know, there's the Swordsmasters Guild. They make excellent swords, but then of course there's the Hammerfall Collective, and well, they know hammers, and of course who can forget the Axebite Orcs? Person in particular.
Sorry, you cut off again there.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What part did you hear?
I got the Axebite Orcs and then nothing.
Okay, the Axebite Orcs, but they have a tendency to bite their own axes. So they're probably not the best, although they have got powerful magic in them. So you know.
What about?
But go on.
What about daggers?
Daggers. She recommends that there's a magical emporium on the edge of the kind of the smithy that takes essentially the leftovers from all of the different guilds in their trade contracts. So as a result, it's probably got the widest selection, and you wouldn't have to buy wholesale. Because that's how most of them do it.
Take note of her directions to where that is.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
And then ask her how much a room is with a suggestive wink.
Roll me persuasion with advantage. Ooh.
I'd just like to say I would not like to be here for the Sam sex scene, please.
Okay, that's fair enough. I would also not like to be here, but here we are.
I'm not particularly happy about being here either, to be honest.
Seduce me. No. She will kind of glance around, and then she reaches into a pocket and slips a small token over to you that appears to be a key to a token of a key to a specific room. And she just kind of says no charge, and then wanders off to go and continue her job, occasionally giving you winky eye glances.
Paul's gonna go find the rest of the party, and just like when he finds them in a group at the table or whatever, he's gonna walk over, explain what he's discovered about the various interesting things, and then just like I really hope the token's on some kind of little chain, and he's just gonna hold it up and dangle it and just say, "I'll see you guys in the morning."
Okay, as you kind of reconvene with the party, pass on the intel that you've gained. Ragnar's still in his shame corner, as he should be. As you kind of hold out the token and kind of be like, "Oh, I'll see you in the morning." You see Fitzpatrick in the background, hurriedly giving you what you think might be multiple thumbs up, or he's flipping you off with tentacles. It's really hard to tell.
I'm just going to give him a thumbs up in return, and that's call out for the evening.
So before the rest of you retire for the evening, slightly less successfully than Call, I suppose. Depends on your definition of success, really.
I actually think that's the first time we've ever had, literally in what, like 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
of
I
D&D,
genuinely think it might
is.
be. Yeah.
we've never
Yeah.
had someone get. Wow. I think
There we
that's
go.
good going on our part.
Yeah.
It is good going on our
And
part.
you've
Although
ruined it.
it's
So
yeah,
this is the
you
end of
have
the
ruined
campaign.
this. Although it is quite fun to force Sam to
let's just take
seduce me.
solace in the fact that we didn't fulfill the stereotype, and we have had bards, and they haven't slept with everything that breathes.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
you didn't try and seduce a dragon. Like you tried to seduce a barmaid, which is
As things go, is
Pretty normal.
relatively normal.
We have
Yes.
both got horns, so what can I say? We were made for one another, basically.
you're very horny. Yeah.
You're gonna go lock horns, okay? Yes, right. So before you kind of retire from the evening, for the evening, sorry, is there anything else anybody wants to do?
I think with all this
Nope.
super strong alcohol, Ragnar is hungry.
Okay. I mean, the tavern does do food. You can get yourself something to eat.
What is the dwarven equivalent of a drunken kebab?
Probably a
the-
drunken kebab.
Yeah, I feel like it's a kebab still, just they're dwarven, you know.
Do we think it's like some kind of like curious meat that comes from the underdark
Mutton.
that they can't identify?
Yeah, like a kebab. Yeah, exactly. It's a kebab. It's off of a skewer, but it's less specific, you know.
Might go kebab.
Yeah. Well, Ragnar's not used to all this highfalutin being in restaurant stuff, so he's just looking for snacks that run around.
Okay, Ragnar, do you want to make me I'm trying to think what on earth would the check be?
Acrobatics to catch a rat.
Yeah, I'll say it's an athletics check to catch a rat. Yeah. Okay.
Now I roll good athletics.
Yeah, sitting in your shame corner, you kind of notice a few rats scurrying around. You think I could use something to eat, and with kind of cat-like reflexes and cow-like strength, you grab a rat as it scurries past and immediately just crush its head in your hands. And you are now free to sit there and eat a rat. You make me a con check with advantage, please. Okay, splendid. Richard, can you jump down a channel?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So as your teeth kind of sink into the rat's flesh, almost immediately you kind of hear the totem again, as it just kind of speaks to you and goes, "Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my good man. Now you've got the strength of a rat. It's yours. It's yours to claim. It's yours to do with whatever you want. Genius."
Strength of a rat's not much to.
It's not really a lot to shout about, but you have now gained the ability to turn into a were-rat, as I think you may have expected.
There was some hints.
I'm subtle, I know.
I was just trying to find a reasonable time to just be like, yeah, Ragnar's just going to go eat a rat.
I did think, haven't made that easy on him. Oh, right. So, as a were-rat, so because we've kind of like given each one kind of like a little advantage. So my thinking was because like the wolf gets like pack tactics, the tiger gets kind of the leap. My thinking for the rat was that it would essentially, because like their key thing is like they've got like really good vision and like keen smell and stuff like that. Now obviously that's not typically something you would want. So I've been thinking of
If you
ways.
can give me advantage on perception, might be.
Well, that's sort of my thinking. Is basically just advantage on perception anytime you're shifted into a were-rat. in particular for detecting stealth creatures, basically.
That seems like
Like,
pretty
yeah.
useful bonus. And what I do like is that because it's a random choice.
Yep.
I can't just be like, oh, we're fighting a bunch of invisible people. I'm a rat. Although with
well,
the
you
totem,
can
sort
with
of
your totem.
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess the idea of the totem is it's going to be how you could choose your shapeshift. But I personally, I like the idea that you don't get a choice what you shapeshift into the first time that you shapeshift. It's only afterwards you can change.
Because I was thinking, I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder if I could rage, but use the totem to force myself to stay. And I was like, no, absolutely not. That's not fun.
All right. Yes. So I'll have to configure your token again. I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what my mistake was. So it should
not
work.
like 0 as a waiting.
No. I was mistakenly using binary with 0 and 1, and apparently you add up to 100, and because it just didn't total 100, it was just like, all right, equal chance on everything.
I see. Yeah, that does
So that
make
was-
sense.
That was me being a big dumb idiot. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's a weird feature that none of us have ever used before. So
No, but yeah, I like it. I'll be honest with you.
yeah, it works really well.
It actually does. Yes. So you've now gained the ability to shift into a were-rat. So we will pop back up then.
Yes.
All right. Unless you've got any questions.
No, it all makes sense to me.
Okay. Splendid. Up we go. All right. We return.
Welcome back.
Right. Cool. So, with that, you guys kind of retire for the evening.
Hmm.
You find various rooms, or you sleep on the floor, or sleep in your shame corner. Really, whatever your preference is.
Ragnit stays in the shame corner.
Stays in the shame corner wearing dogs. Fitzpatrick, I presume, sleeps inside his keg, so feel free to join in. And Call goes and spends a night with the barmaiden. I'm not going to detail beyond that.
Guinevere.
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 Yeah.
I'll add it to the list.
Of one.
Okay, so Call goes and loses his virginity, so
Yeah.
that's excellent.
Mate, as we've already proven, I have a history in many places within 100 miles of where I grew up.
But you've never been successful before, is what I'm getting from this list.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Call walks out like, I had no idea that was going to happen.
So that's what that thing's for.
Oh God, I thought it was a mast. Right. So either way, yeah, Call spends the night with the barmaiden, and the rest of you variously get your kind of sleep from elsewhere. So you've now gained a little bit of intel, generally, from the tavern, and you have also been directed to a possibly very useful magic item shop that'll probably be worth you going to. So, what are you thinking is kind of your immediate? Do you want to go to the shop first? Do you want to do some shopping? Like, what's the
Go to the shop.
go to
Sure,
the shop? Yeah, okay. I hate to be an absolute tease here, but that is probably where we're going to call it, because I only have the shop about half done, and I realised about halfway through the session, I was like, I really need to finish that shop, but I don't want to do it mid-session, because I'll fuck it up.
Now you're done with a weapon that's just.
You'll either end up with a really shit weapon or an
Yeah, it's a
unbelievably
+5
strong
battle
weapon.
axe. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, fuck it. There you go. No, so yes, next session we will go weapon shopping and various magic item shopping. But to compensate for last week, this is a shorter session, I suppose.
That seems fair.